Air has no boundaries. Air does hold a significant place in my heart because I need it every day, and so does my neighbor. My name is Kendra Pinto, and I am from the Diné Nation. So we're gonna head out into the field today in the Liebrook and Counselor area to see if we can see any sort of emissions that are happening.
Do you see anything, Kendra?
No, just combusted back there.
There's nothing going on from the wellhead?
Not at the moment. You want to take a look?
Sure, take a look. Oh wait, I see. They're venting that tank.
I didn't see it, but I could smell it.
Yeah, that's really significant. So you can see it's coming from that big, taller tank there in the back. And we cannot see that with our naked eyes, because that's methane and VOCs coming out of that tank.
Methane and volatile organic compounds is definitely something I'm worried about. When I walk outside, I can't just think about fresh air. I'm thinking about the VOCs, I'm thinking about the methane that I'm breathing in because I know it's out there. As someone who goes out into the field, I see it all the time.
For too long in states like New Mexico, on the Navajo Nation, and then at the federal level, there hasn't been really adequate oversight of things like methane emissions from oil and gas development, and that has led to problems. Unfortunately, there have been environmental justice issues with the undue burden that Navajo communities and tribal communities at large have been forced to bear from insufficiently regulated oil and gas development.
So we are at a well site that's about 1,800 feet north of Liebrook Elementary School.
And when we're looking at it on the camera, and this plume of pollutants that they have coming out of this tank is traveling in the direction of the school right now. This is considered kind of a routine sort of maintenance operation. In order to make the site safe for the workers to access the site, they have to just dump all of this excess kind of gas in the system into the atmosphere. So again, that's not being burned off, that's not being treated in any way or stored, it's just being released into the atmosphere, and the people who live around here just have to deal with the impacts of that.
Half of the tribal population of San Juan County lives within a half mile of an oil or gas well. That's a radius that would indicate some impacts from those wells that aren't being currently regulated as well as they should be.
If a site is 200 feet away from federal lands and you have a home site sitting there, they're going to breathe that air in. And a lot of the times they're not going to smell it, so they're not going to know. Who's there to quantify how much is actually coming out and how much it's actually affecting the locals?
Methane could be referred to as the other greenhouse gas. Scientists estimate that it's 80 times more potent in the 20-year time frame than carbon dioxide at driving climate change. And that obviously makes it a big problem. Fixing those leaks also helps you capture other forms of pollution that can come out of oil and gas wells. Things like volatile organic compounds that lead to ozone pollution and that can exacerbate asthma and other respiratory problems. They also help capture toxic pollutants like benzene that are carcinogens and lead to cancer.
If my neighbors are breathing it in, that's worrisome. So it's a major concern because I don't want folks to be getting more sick than they are. Capturing this and documenting, I think, is the safest way to bring attention and awareness to an issue that kind of gets swept under the rug, especially for areas that are rural like ours.
Groups that are collecting data with infrared cameras are already starting to share that information with regulators, and regulators are starting to use the data that's shared with them to increase their enforcement. So these efforts are a really important part of making sure that these pollution problems are addressed.
Documenting these type of emissions is important because no one else is really doing it. I mean, we find faulty equipment all the time with the flare camera. I hope that all the oil and gas sites that they have out here, you know, next door to me, are regulated.